I got beat up. I gave everybody the end of the week off because of a holiday, and I was working. So I was having this conversation with a former Navy SEAL and a former 3rd of the 75th Ranger. I like to party. I got beat up. I'm probably think it's a lot worse in my head than it actually looks. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I often get beat up in the workplace.
What? In the workplace? Oh yeah, tell the truth and what's happening to you. Yeah, keep talking like that and that's what really will happen. My God! The workplace.
So a lot of you guys don't know this, but when Paola is hungry,
Oh my God!
the Kraken comes out.
This is only for you! Nobody needs to know about this part of me.
So YouTube now knows that I often get beaten.
When the Kraken is hungry?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So if Powell is hungry, I get beat up. I don't understand how this works, but that's all a joke. If you guys don't know my humor by now, it's very dark and it's a very dry humor. Today we're gonna change it up a little bit on the vlog. I'm gonna tell you about my black eye. I'm gonna tell you about the Kraken that I work with and how it's a hostile work environment. And we're also gonna talk about, most importantly, the topic of the day. And the topic of the day, and we're changing this up here, what clients ask me about watches and my real answers, right? We're gonna talk about that. What clients ask me about watches. Well, really, better said, it's what clients ask us. So there's 3 people on our sales team, Matt, Paola, and myself, and every day we get asked questions about watches, and one of the things that we pride ourselves on is our style. Our style is education. Our style is not transactional, it's not sales based, it's educational based, right? These are pretty big purchases for a lot of people. So over-educating is our style, and a lot of times it talks people out of the sale. And I think it's supposed to be that way. And I'm gonna give you guys an example on how we do these things. But for instance, last week I gave everybody the end of the week off because of a holiday, and I was working. And a longtime follower on my Instagram reached out to me, and he asked me for a Panda Daytona 116500. And we had been talking about this watch for several years, but he never bought. And then he said, "Hey man, I'm ready." So I educated him on the 116500 Panda Daytona. He had questions about the Panda Daytona, and these questions were: how old are they? How new are they? What's the price point differences? What does condition mean? Can you find new? Can you find used? Because I didn't have any in stock. So these questions are very common. What's the price? What's the market price? Is it older? Is it newer? Can you find me new? Can you find me used? Can you find me without a card? Well, listen, I'm gonna keep the client's name off the show, but he didn't know that you could find a Panda Daytona from the late teens and up to 2023, if I'm not mistaken. So say 2016, 2017 to 2023 is the 116500. In 2024, if I'm not mistaken, the 126500 Panda Daytona was released, which was a change in the reference, a change to the movement, and some subtle upgrades visually. kind of like a car when it gets like visually upgraded. But they're pretty much the same watch, but there's a huge price difference. So brand new Panda Daytona, on the secondary market, you're gonna pay $35,000, maybe $36,000. Old Panda from the late teens with an old card, white and green card, opposed to a only green card, you're gonna pay high 20s. So there's a, $5,000 to $8,000 price discrepancy for pretty much the same watch. So the questions that I get asked, I presented him with an old one from the teens, a newer one, and a brand new one. $8,000 difference. And this is where I think really this show should really, the focal point is on this. He asked me, he said, Chris, which one would you get? All right, so I quoted him for $28,000, for $31,000, and like $35,000 or something like that. And I told him, I said, you know what, man, honestly, it's pretty much the same watch. No one's gonna know. Save yourself the coin, save yourself $8,000 and just get the older one. He's like, yeah, bet, no problem. I wanna pay cash. Let me know how to get it to you. So clients trust us because we shoot it straight and we educate. If someone asks me, hey, what's a better deal? Or which one do you think I should get? I almost never say the brand new one, because why not have the same watch for a few $1,000s cheaper is my perspective. Is that a really bad sales tactic? Yeah, right? However, is it a really good piece of sales? Yeah, tell the customer what is actually good for them rather than making a higher sale. So we get asked that question a lot. Chris, which one would you buy? Paola, which one do you think? Matt, what do you think? And I'd rather have the relationship long-term, happy customer long-term, good Google review, referrals long-term, than make a couple extra grand or a few extra grand. And we get that question a lot. Another really popular question we get is, does it have box and papers? Which is a really good question. People want to know if there's warranty paperwork with the watches. And there's a higher probability of a problem with a watch if it doesn't have box and papers, like it being stolen or counterfeited or not real or a super clone. So what's the best watch for me price point wise? What would you do? Is there box and papers? And another one that we get a lot of, another question that we get a lot of is, Chris, why does Paola beat you up when you're working?
Yeah. Wait until you're off camera.
Wait, she just said wait. I just got threatened. Wait until, wait until you're off camera. Look at this. Look.
I'm scared for my life.
Yeah, I'm shaking in my Solomons over here. Okay, real talk, Paola does not beat me. For those of you that don't know, after 16 years of training jiu-jitsu and 8 years as a blue belt, I was promoted to purple belt last week. And I didn't realize it, but within my first week of being a purple belt, everybody's trying to rip my head off. And last night, I took a little bit of a gi burn to the face. Probably would have been a lot funnier if I got beat up by Paola, but that's the truth. I'm actually really happy. I talk about this to my clients a lot in my coaching. Receiving my purple belt last week means way more to me than getting into my GT3 or some insert material gain, right? Material gain is cool if that's what you're into, but to me, things that are cooler are stuff that you earn. So I was having this conversation with a former Navy SEAL and a former 3rd of the 75th Ranger. And for those of you that are familiar with Ranger Battalion and SEAL teams, those are earned. To get a SEAL Trident and get a Ranger Scroll, that stuff's earned. You can't buy that. Anybody could buy a GT3. Anyone can buy an Audemars Piguet. I mean, listen, if you want one, theoretically anybody could. but you can't buy a purple belt. You can't buy a seal trident. You can't buy a ranger scroll. So it was actually a really huge win for me last week, and now everyone's trying to beat me up like real bad because I'm recently promoted. Now I'm like not just the older guy that's a blue belt that people try to take advantage of. Now I'm the older guy recently promoted as a purple belt, and they want to kill me. So I guess there's a target on my back. But let's just say it's actually Paola. What do you think?
I'm working.
You're working?
Yeah.
We're gonna zoom in on you.
No, I don't think so.
Yep.
I don't think so.
Paola.
If you don't want, you what?
What?
What? What?
What?
I am working. I am trying to do some work here while you're playing with the camera.
While I'm playing with the camera.
Exactly. I'm trying to do work here. And you're like, ooh, Paola, Paola.
Are you making any sales?
Yes.
Okay.
Trying to quote people here.
That's not a sale.
That's how it starts.
Get to work, Paola. Paola's not having it today. Yeah, so questions that we often get asked, it pretty much, what we were talking about, but the most common questions are what we covered, box and papers. Is this watch good for me? Which one is best for me, Chris? Which one would you buy? And these are questions that show that people trust us. For instance, the guy that I told you about that bought the Panda, I downsold him, left $8,000 on the table because that's what was best for him. Never met him before, gave me almost $30,000 in cash, walked out of his shop, never meeting him before, no contracts, no purchase orders, just cash from an Instagram guy. But the trust is there, and that's the questions that we get, is really people are just looking for someone they can trust in the industry. And I think trust is the most valuable asset when it comes to our business model, but also our industry. Any business, if your customers trust you, you're gonna just have a more prosperous business. And in prosperous businesses, you can take care of your team well. And if you take care of your team well, they have a better quality of life. And if the team has a better quality of life, they're going to treat the customers and the clients better, and it goes full circle. So those are the questions we get asked mostly. I hope you guys took something from today. If you guys have any follow-up questions that you would want addressed, or maybe another vlog shot on, just comment below, let me know. And just wish me luck that I don't get beat up for the rest of the day. It's really nice to not get the crap kicked out of you by a female in a hostile work environment, and, wish me luck so I can make more vlogs for you guys. All right? All right, guys. I'll catch you next time. Peace.